What's going on, Bombad fam? We're so used to our normal intro that when we don't have a intro video, it's just not.
We're
It's
just
just
we're just
different.
like we're just sitting here
It's
like
different.
yeah
Yeah,
we're live.
yeah, we're
We're
live.
live.
Oh,
We are
yeah, of
live.
course we are.
It's
We're
we
always
listen,
live.
and that Jared video, fantastic. It's great
Oh,
having
isn't
a
it
little bit of
good?
music.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I don't know.
Jerry, I have a hard
Yes.
out today. I gotta leave at 7:45 to prep for Bombad Gaming, but I want to start off with this. That our friend Eli had read a bunch
Listen,
of interviews on Bad Batch, and
yes,
he
he
was
did.
like, he
Once
kind of
again, I'm
hyped
just
up.
not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with you talking about how hard you are at what
Oh,
time.
sorry,
So
sorry.
let's keep this PG. Okay, this is the Bad Batch. Come on,
This is the Bad Batch. No,
the
but in
Bad
all
Batch.
seriousness, I was watching, I was anticipating like pod races and stuff. And Eli had told us that he had read an interview where they were like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a pod race episode. I'm like, oh my God, no way. But what we got, I like a little bit, I like just as much.
Yeah.
I was worried. I was like, am I going to like this, riot races or whatever? But, you know,
Well, we didn't know until the time, like you're wondering, is it, I mean, well, in the trailer, you can tell it's not
yeah,
pod racers as
no,
like the chariot type.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's riot racing and
The design, the sound design of this, of like the setup of them walking up to it, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna do it. They're gonna bring pod racers back. But
yeah,
they kind of faked this out a little bit. It was nice. It was nice.
a little bit. And listen, it's a big galaxy. There's thousands upon thousands. There's a myriad of planets that they've
Of
said in books
course.
before. You can have a myriad of different kinds of racing. There's multiple
Mhm.
different kinds of racing here on planet Earth as well. So I'm excited to see something new. I'm excited to
Yeah,
see I love seeing these are the sports that I would watch. Which I mean, I
exactly.
guess are the blood sports, which
Yeah.
like it's I wrote it down. There's the one moment where
The
some poor
Biff.
dude gets hit with stray blaster fire.
Uh-huh.
And like there's that shot of the crowd and everything, and they're like,
They
"Oh
look
no!"
down.
And that one guy's like, "Oh shit!"
And then he
Like,
falls down. They're like,
this is
hey.
just a friendly reminder: we're not responsible for injury, death, or disintegration.
who
I
did
love that.
who did the voiceover for the arena? Was it sounded
You
like Foden
know,
and Beat a little bit at the beginning.
I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't Foden Beat because it wasn't, at
Yeah.
least it wasn't the same guy who was in Resistance.
Yeah.
Because one of the guys, Greg Proops, did the voice
Yes.
of
Yes.
one of the heads, and
Uh-huh.
he was also the voice of the announcer on Star Wars
I
Resistance.
forgot about that.
Right?
That's
hmm
awesome. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
which is a really cool piece of that.
Mhm.
This felt more Phantom Menace though.
Oh,
Just
it
the whole
did.
feel. They even had like,
Yeah.
I don't know, were you freaking out when they had the beep, beep, beep
Beep.
starting thing?
Uh-huh. And then
Oh
it didn't
man,
go banner. It didn't do that, but it's still
no, it was
it did the beep,
different.
the exact beep. Oh, it was good. Yeah,
So good.
we had been told this episode was gonna be pod race centric, and I was really I woke up really early today. That's why I'm so tired. Woke up really early today, and I'm like, I cannot wait to see this happen. I'm pumped. I'm super excited, and it did not disappoint. I like the setup. I like that
So
Echo
fun.
and a Hunter are out. They're out doing their own thing. It's nice. It's kind of cool.
Son,
It's
hide nor hair, nor
uh-huh.
long luscious lock of
Yep.
Hunter or
It was
Echo.
great. It was great.
It was
I love
nice.
that. You got to see, Wrecker have his moments, and you got to see especially Tech have his moments. I mean, that was so well
Tech
done.
really
God, Tech
shined in this
rules.
episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
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 I don't
The
I don't get the there's some people I think who we know who will remain
Mhm.
nameless who got questions wrong in a trivia match against us who don't like Tech. They just don't they make him like a Bazinga guy, like
Yeah,
design, and that's reducing
not
Tech.
him.
That's reducing
Yeah.
Tech. So just go
Yeah.
over to Nerd Academy podcast and just tell Jared he's wrong on every single thing that he's ever
I didn't
thought
get
about in his entire life.
Well, he posted that meme, and I'm like, I just don't. Maybe I'm
I
not
don't get it.
funny enough to get it. But like, the thing about Sheldon is like, Sheldon's like a miserable character. It's kind of like his shtick, and he like couldn't help that he's kind of miserable. I don't know. Like that's how I felt watching Big Bang Theory.
I could see how you could get that vibe from Tech maybe, but not as like, I don't know, like I'm also just not a fan of the Big Bang Theory. So I
No,
just
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just don't.
something I like to the Big Bang Theory. I'm like, get out. You need to
Yeah,
get the hell out. This is an environment of
yeah.
welcoming, and you need to get the hell out.
We're actually funny here. You know, this
We're
is
actually, yeah, we actually, yeah, we was I watching recently? Oh, I was watching Animaniacs with Eleanor, and
Oh, nice.
they put in a joke about how Big Bang Theory is not
I mean, that's
funny.
amazing. See, that's the thing too. We got someone in the chat. Who's in the chat hanging out with us?
Oh,
Oh, Brian.
Brian.
Tech
Tech is
is
an
an
alpha.
alpha. He's a sigma male. A sigma male.
He's a he's a Sigma male. Yeah, that's what.
Alpha.
Yeah, right. We subscribe to those theories here at Bombadcast.
Yes,
Just
we
kidding. If
do.
you're new, we do not. We know, and
We
the
do
one
not.
person who is watching who is Brian right now,
Yes.
we do not. Don't you dare say that.
We can always guarantee it's Brian. Brian loves these vertical live streams, by the way. Speaking of, let
He
me just plug
does.
this real quick.
He
If you
created a
haven't yet,
hashtag. He loves him so much.
yes, if you haven't yet, follow us on TikTok. We want to go vertically live on TikTok. So we got that going for us. And of
Yeah,
course,
we
if
want
you
to
haven't
get
yet,
vertical.
follow us here. But Jerry, so I'm watching this episode. I'm loving it. I love that it's a little bit more Mario Karty than it is pod racery. You know, they've
A
got to
little
avoid
bit.
objectives. They're shooting at each other. The biggest shock, and no one's talked about it because I mean everyone likes you know what's his name? Ben Schwartz, who plays Teo,
Oh,
right?
Ben
But
Schwartz.
no one's brought up the fact that it's the voice of Sonic. They're all like, oh, it's John Ralphio, or it's that guy
Yeah,
from Veep, or whatever it is, or Silicon Valley, whatever it is. But like they're
right.
like, he's all these people, but no one's been like, it's the voice of Sonic the freaking Hedgehog in this. You know what I mean?
And it is because again, we are both Sonic fans. Like I am a new
Yeah.
Sonic convert because of
Yeah.
those new films that he's in,
Yeah.
that he stars in.
Yeah.
But John Ralphio would be what I would go to because that's the first thing
Yeah.
I ever remember
See, I was
seeing
freaking
him,
out.
realizing who he was in.
Yeah.
I was
couldn't-
losing my ever loving mind whenever he spoke.
Did you figure out instantly, or did it take a second?
Oh, as soon as he started saying like
Really?
Teo and stuff like that, I love
Teo.
how he kept saying he would say his name at the end of a
Uh-huh.
sentence. He would go Teo or something.
Teo.
It was so okay. There's I don't know. Let's stay on Teo here for a sec. I love Ben Schwartz's delivery, his comedic timing and everything. And I love the way he delivers and I don't it makes you wonder like what was written into the episode and
Sure.
what was like something that he came up with on the spot because I mean they got to do the animation separate, but the part where they're putting him back together and he's like Teo is ready to race. Teo can where are my arms and legs? Just like that delivery, I was cackling.
Yeah,
it was so
well
effing
done.
funny.
How cool was the design too of the head?
I love
being
that
able to
design.
flip. That was
It was
really
almost like
cool.
it was like someone had a children's toy that did something like
Yes,
that
yes.
for their kids, and because that's what it reminds me of is some like little on a baby. And I don't know, that's where Star Wars inspiration comes from all the time is random mundane stuff.
Things.
It's like, what if you had a droid whose head was like this little spinny rattle
Swivel
on
so
my
he didn't
kids?
have to turn, he could turn it, but
yeah,
he
he
didn't
turned
have
his
to,
head.
He just flipped his head.
He
and
flipped his face.
And it was cool how they did it too. Was kind of like a shocking moment where he's like, "You can't do that." And when he flipped his face, it was like his eyes became the mouth. His eyes went from being circle line. Circle line to when it flipped, it was circle. Like the mouth was now there, and he was like,
right.
It was so cool. I love that kind of design.
It's
very
just,
well done.
Very, very well done design on Teo.
Yes,
and Ben Schwartz just fits in. He's a chameleon. Like you know who he is immediately, but it doesn't feel forced into anything. At least to me, it doesn't feel forced into anything. He goes in. He knows how to like get in there, make his jokes, and fit in, and then get out. But yeah, no, I loved his character. I want to see Teo back. I hope that we get more Teo. Frankly,
me too.
Just so much fun. There was another guest star.
Oh God,
today's episode was stacked. And playing Grinny Malegi, right? Which the first Doatan we've seen outside of like I think there was one in Resistance
and Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, but I'm like in an animated project or like anything that's not like so the sequel trilogy we've got him in live action. I think maybe we've gotten him in like maybe The Mandalorian or something.
I don't think so.
But that we got it in this Clone Wars era animation was really, this is the first time, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Bad Batch is they are like pulling from all the eras. It's
Always.
the stuff that we talk about, we like, you know?
Yes.
I call myself a
100%.
canon junkie, but you're just as much one as I am. And we love seeing, I love it when they act like all of Star Wars exists and matters.
Yes.
That's my thing.
The best part.
That's the best part. It's like, yes, all of Star Wars exists and matters. Let's blend it in. Like guys who come in and want to direct a big movie, big directors, they want to create new stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of spread it throughout so it feels like a real lived in world.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of love. But anyway.
So how did you feel about this though? Because this is the same exact idea. The racer that kept beating, Teo, he was the same species as I forget the name of the pod racer.
Clegg Holdfast.
Yes, Clegg Holdfast. So okay. So it's kind of cool that their species maybe are good at high speeds. It was kind of cool to see that
something that might be very specious, but we don't know yet. We just don't know.
Well, wait,
they might have just been doing a pod racer thing. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But it makes sense. He won that first round, and I also wanted to bring up the fact that they even did a C-3PO Attack of the Clones bit where they had what was his body on a battle droid? Or
hold on. So I wanted to talk about the names of the racers and everything.
Oh, you have the names of them? Look at you.
I went and wrote down every name, but real quick, I got to give a shout out because we haven't shouted him out yet. We just talked about his species.
Yeah.
Grinny Malegi, played by Ernie Hudson, who is probably one of the most this man is having like a renaissance. I feel like he's been working as an actor for a long time. He's been in everything. But as a Ghostbusters fan, I'm a big Winston fan. I'm a big Ernie Hudson fan. I was always confused when I was a kid. Like, why don't they put why isn't Winston on the poster? Wasn't it because I grew up with the cartoon and everything, and they are all four prominent. I love that now he's getting his prominence in that series, but then now he's gonna sneak on over into Star Wars, and my two favorite things are having. I mean, look at this. I've got my Tobin Spirit Guide and like the Razor Crest right here.
Yeah,
I mean, it was whenever I figured out that it was him, I was like, this is just magical. I love it so much.
Cool. I could tell it was someone like a known person. The second the character
I was
like,
I've heard this voice.
I couldn't put it together. Bad Batch has been really cool. Whereas, is this something that people complain about for some stupid reason? But they're like, Mandalorian's like cameo of the week. And I hate that complaint because it's not if it plays into the story. But this has been kind of nice.
Star Wars as a whole for years has been the cameo of whatever movie is going on.
These first two episodes and then this most recent one have been voice actor of the week. And I'm like, who is it this time? Or I'm sorry, even the last episode when they had Shelby Young in that episode, and they also had who was the other person that voiced somebody? There was another big voice actress as well. But all that being said, it's kind of nice. You kind of sit there and go, "Whose voice is that?" Like who?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a bad thing. Like a lot of people would say that as, it's voice actor of the week, but it's no. I
love that.
I love it too, and it's like it's usually someone like I'm trying to think. Like it's not just voice actors. It's like people who are great character actors.
Yes.
That they're having come on and play characters in this show, and I love it so much. It's fun. Like you said, it's fun every week.
Yeah.
So now I want you. I want to give out. I'm going to give out the roster. This is the roster of names that I'm obsessed with. Okay, and then I want you to go all ham on our Attack of the Clones C-3PO boy. Okay, but he has a name, and is it the best? Is it one of the best?
Is it really?
Okay, so the racers are the Clegg Holdfast guy is Jet Venom.
Jet Venom,
right? Jet Venom, which is a badass name.
Yeah.
There's two Niktos, and one of them is Bosco the Mad Bomber Bricks. Bosco, I think he's the orangish one. The green one is Steel Claw Kane.
Okay, I heard that one this morning. I'm like,
that's like a
cool
wrestling name almost. They didn't show which one this was. They said it when they were showing the crowd, but Vicious Vid Centauri.
Well, I like that.
That's a cool name. I
That's a good
don't
name.
know which one that is.
It's kind of
Because
nice
they
though.
didn't show him.
We may never know, which is kind of cool too.
You may never know.
I like that.
Here's my favorite. My favorite, and
Okay.
I changed my name on Twitter to this moniker.
Oh, did you?
But this this is the super battle droid that's painted red, or the commando droid that's painted red.
Oh yeah, it is a commando.
That commando droid is Haxon the War Gnome Traginax. Haxon the War Gnome. As in like a small mythical bearded creature with a pointy hat.
Yeah.
The War Gnome.
Wow. That's odd.
Traginax. I don't know why.
There we go.
I don't know why, but that's
great name.
Like first name, last name, and the moniker is like
Gnome.
that is you're never gonna forget the War Gnome.
The War
Like
Gnome.
how did that droid, the commando droid, get the moniker of the War Gnome?
But it's also interesting. We can talk about this to kind of finalize this stuff whenever we're done, but like some of these droids seem sentient, which is something else I find very interesting, especially the commander droid, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, you keep going.
Well, there was a lot of droids in this racing as well, which I found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the one that you're thinking of, and I don't know how many times you've watched it and seen his little move. He does like a little cool move. This guy, like it's a big. He's like, I'm a cool guy move, but it's so effing funny. I love it so much. So his name, our C-3PO Attack of the Clones boy, is Quick Draw Quasar, and he is legit going. He's shooting from the hip, going. But when they say his name, no way. He's perfect. He's perfect.
No way.
I'm not lying. That is exactly.
What's it again?
Watch that. Quick Draw Quasar.
Quick Draw Quasar.
We're gonna have to cosplay these droids at the next celebration we go to or something. I'll be the War Gnome and you be Quick Draw Quasar.
Quasar. Wow.
Just go around.
I'm gonna go watch that tonight.
Then there are two regular protocol droids, and one of them is the Trickster Flash Ractor. That's like the pinkish one. And then there's the green one whose name is Hyper Rod on his 7-deuce blaster.
This is so Phantom Menace-y. God, I love that. I love it. I'm living for it.
How beautiful are those names, though? How deliciously, like,
what's the last one?
Off the wall.
The last one again?
Hyper Rod. Hyper Rod's the dude's name. Hyper Rod on his 7-deuce blaster. I wrote down the whole what they all said because I just thought, I was like, you can't. That's that dude's full title. He walks into the bar. He's like, I want you to announce me. Oh, Hyper Rod's here. No. Hyper Rod and his 7-deuce blaster. That's my ride's parked out back. You know, I don't have it up here, but I'm not on it. But I want you to say it.
That was something
he's got
too.
That energy.
I wanted to bring that up as well, because it's something. Oh, look, Nick's made a good joke. New episode of Hyper Rod on this Saturday, right?
It is this Saturday. Hyper Rod.
Hyper Rod.
We're gonna get on our 7-deuce blaster with Chase that gay Jedi.
Yeah, that's right. The gay Jedi. I was really. It's funny. I knew that Tech would win. I mean, you know, you kind of have to think about it in terms of stuff, but I didn't realize how suspicious I would grow of what's her face after this episode
of Sid. And we got Sid, have we gotten her full name before? Because we got her full name from Maligi.
Yes. I was really suspicious of her now because, like, you know, she wanted to get off world to go visit the racer, right?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of the motive? And then the guy's like, nah, you're going to you're going to stay with me. You know, you owe me money.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they, you know, Omega being typical Omega, you know, trying to see the best in people or trying to, you know, cut a deal. And it was kind of cool to see the parallels of her learning, you know, what it means at the very beginning to like kind of make a gamble, you know, when she's playing with Wrecker with the little, oh my God, the HoloNet chess. I'm sorry, the Holo chess set was so cool to see it in like, you know, 3D animation this time too, and seeing them attack each other. Oh, so great. But it was a good character building for Echo, for Sid, and for Omega too. I mean, it just
For
works.
we got what Cideran Scaleback
Oh
is apparently
wow,
Sid's full name. That's what
Scaleback.
Mr. Malegi says when he walks up. Cideran Scaleback.
Interesting.
We got Sid's full name in this episode, which I
Yeah,
definitely thought was interesting.
yeah.
What do you okay? What are the odds? Let's see. Is it above 50% or over? Over
Okay.
under. Did Sid and Maligi have a romantic relationship in the past?
Well, it was
That's the
interesting.
vibe I got.
Me too. When they were sitting there, because he was trying to be like, "You want a drink?" You know, trying to be helpful and kind and
Yeah,
small talkish, and she was so not about it. I think it's over. I think it's over more than
I think
under.
it's over
I definitely think
50%.
there's
Yeah.
something there. And the funny thing is too, he didn't seem vindictive when Tech did win. You know, he seemed
Yeah.
like all right, a deal's a deal. But that little line at the very end made me very weary. You know, because we know the
Well,
Bad
yeah.
Batch is on the run. You know, I'm really not looking forward to Sid turns because you're right. It's just a job for her. I mean, you're just
Right.
doing her job for her.
Well,
So
and I think that I think Sid's more complicated than that, right? Like I don't think
yeah,
that I mean, we might have a moment where she does maybe betray them, but it might be like kind of more of a Lando
sure.
betrayal, not like I don't
That's a
think
good point.
Sid is in any way a villain,
Yeah.
but I think it's the nature of what the world they're in right now, it's the
Mhm.
underworld. Like the beginning. I'm sorry. Quick Draw Quasar just did his little boom, boom, boom. It's the best. I love it so much. But
Yeah,
yeah, you know, we're setting up some interesting wrinkles this season. Like we've got
I
the
agree.
whole thing with Rampart trying to cover up the Bad Batches, even that they're even alive.
Yeah.
Um, this whole moral is Crosshair going to start actually feeling bad for his
Mhm.
decisions,
Mhm.
and then we've got, is Sid going to betray the Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Is she going to give them up?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I kind of hope we do see, I hope we see more of this character. I thought it was interesting because you even had that Jet Venom,
Oh
the Clegg
yeah.
Holdfast character he was gonna
Oh
grab that
yeah.
blaster and shoot, I don't know,
100%.
one or all of them, and he
Yeah.
stopped it. Like I thought that was
Yep.
interesting that dude
Very
stopped
interesting.
him and
Mhm.
was like, Hey, listen, watch your backs."
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's meant to make us go like, "Oh, what's up with Sid?"
Mhm.
Maybe they will come into question. Maybe her loyalty will come into question. But again, I don't think she's going to fully betray them. But again, we'll see. You never know. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like this show
You don't know.
takes wild swings with you. You don't think it's going to go as hard as it goes sometimes.
No. You know what's cool too? I like how they thought about it strategically the whole episode.
Mhm.
You know, I know that sounds silly and that's the point of screenwriting, but what
No,
I'm
no, no,
trying to
no.
get at is the idea of like you watch Teo go through the match. You know, you kind of know what happens. You even know the trick at the very end. But the one thing no one expected, and I didn't know, and this is maybe just because we don't know how Riot Racing works, but then when they were straight up like, oh, yeah, you
Right.
can drop the weapons and it makes you faster. And then how cool is this? I can't really pull it up, but
I
there's an
love that moment
exact
too.
there's an exact area of a pod racer map that I know they base it off of, where there's 3 holes you can go through. One is like a red
Yeah.
door, the others are 2 green doors. You mostly don't make it to the red door, but the green doors you can go through. And I'm like,
Hmm.
they don't set that up not to pull anything off with it. And the
Yeah.
fact that they went through that red door, I was like, yes. And it was like a immediate flip, and then an immediate another flip, and another immediate flip. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like that
Yes.
that is how you get kids to watch this. I know that's silly,
Yeah.
but like
No, exactly.
that as a kid, I've been like, oh, that's so cool. Even as an adult, I was like, that is so freaking cool. So that really
Right.
worked for me. Like really worked for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, this entire track felt like something that was on one of the
Yeah.
pod racing games. It
Yeah.
really did, because of the jumps, because of the doors, because of the tunnel with the ads going.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh. The
it
other
was
part too was
big time pod racing vibes.
the ramp that led to the upper little tunnel they could go through, and that is also directly from Pod Racer. Like that is like one of the mechanics. You can, get boosts by going up things. I mean, I really enjoyed that. And like at first, I will be real, I was kind of sad it really wasn't pod racing, but if this is how pod racing evolved, and I think there's something to be said about this. I think it's a slower version of pod racing,
Yeah.
I think if they did real pod racing, it'd be a lot faster, like it was in the Phantom Menace. But
Right.
I was happy with what we got. Truly, I didn't. I was like, oh, not pause. I'm like, well, you know what? This is just as good. I should be thankful that we're even getting this in the first place, and that's how I felt. I mean, I was happy to wake up this morning and be greeted with those great noises again. I mean, it sounded just like the Phantom Menace.
Oh, dude. It was so much fun. It went so quick though. This is, I think, is the shortest episode so far.
Yeah,
it went so fast that it was done, and I was like, no, I want more. But no, yeah, no,
doesn't Tech usually fly the
he's usually the pilot.
The Marauder? Is it? Yeah,
the Marauder.
So like,
the Marauder.
I was wondering, like, it just makes sense for Tech to do that. That's okay. That makes more sense to me now.
Well, and I don't know if this is like the one random line from the Phantom Menace. Star Wars fans always hold creators to random pieces of dialogue that are apparently the immutable laws of physics in Star Wars.
Yeah.
When Anakin says, "I'm the only human who can do it," referring to pod racing, I wonder if that's why they haven't tried a ton of pod racing.
That's true.
That probably is not a huge thing, but it's just like I think they take stuff like that into account. It's like you don't want to like do, you don't want to be like, oh, that Anakin Skywalker, and then this guy could also do it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's ways to get around it. Honestly, I'd watch pod racing again. I'd watch pod racing again. Frankly,
in a heartbeat. It was kind of cool to do, because the environment wasn't a typical Star Wars biome. Like it wasn't all sandy, it was a track, and they were there watching it from above, looking down at it, Let's see.
Well, and I mean, you only really saw the surface of the planet as they're landing. Then you're just in the stadium the whole time, which is effing huge. Let's see. The name of the planet was Saphatoma, which is a great name.
Great name.
Saphatoma. I love it.
Saphatoma.
Saphatoma. But yeah, no, just
Saphatoma.
Saphatoma. Haven't seen you on Saphatoma. Also, just real quick too, it's amazing how much the animation has evolved for like Clone Wars, because there was a Gamorrean guard in this episode. If you remember the Gamorrean guards from the first season of the Clone Wars, it's rough. I mean, it is rough. They are like they look like Rankin Bass characters. I mean, it's
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. I know
exactly I want to get a comparison, because the one that was in there today, and I mean, there's been a few, and there was a couple in the Bad Batch whenever they went to pick up Moochie, last season. But I don't know. I really enjoyed.
There was a couple.
Yeah, there was one today.
There's not even any images of it. There's like barely images of one. It's hilarious. That's how bad it is.
The first season, like I'm gonna have to do like some investigative journal. I'm gonna have to like go and search through and find those shots. But it's like, they are cartoonishly big as well.
Yeah, that's you can barely see it. Hold on, it's to the oh, there we go. That's the best shot we can get. Look how bad that looks. Hold on.
Oh yeah,
y'all see it right there? It's on the far right. It just looks ridiculous. Interesting. Yeah, I don't blame you. All in all, though, because I have to sign off to do some Bombad Gaming in the next few minutes.
Yes,
I love this episode. I'm so excited to wake up next week, watch another one. I just love lighthearted Star Wars. Good
so
God,
fun.
It's been so nice. Like Andor, I felt like it was very deep. I was blown away by it, but this is like I've just been like,
oh, it's necessary.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's like so every part, like I said, every part of this story, every new story they tell adds a new layer that is important.
I agree.
But there's something to be said about the fun of Star Wars, which has always been there. That is there in Mandalorian. That is there in the Bad Batch. That it's hard to not just absolutely be enamored with,
I agree.
And so it's like, again, do each their own. It's fine, like what you want to like and everything. But yeah, I'm with you. I enjoy this week to week, just little
Me
like
too.
the empire is rising, but also we're gonna take a little adventure over here in this corner of the
Yes.
galaxy, and we're gonna
Yes.
go for a race. We're gonna go do you guys like
Faster.
racing? Yeah,
Um,
it's I love it.
I love it too, and I'm glad that we do this week to week. By the way, for those that are watching live right now, every Wednesday or watching it in post, either way, uh, we do this week to week. It's a little 30-minute Bad Batch recap before I do some Bombad Gaming. If you haven't yet, please by all means follow us on our social pages. We've been posting a lot more recently. The Bombadcast on Facebook, the Bombadcast on Instagram, at Bombadcast on Twitter, and at Bombadcast at the Bombadcast on TikTok. And of course, we want to plug our TikTok for real, because we
Yes,
want to get to
please.
1,000 followers. We want to be able to go live on TikTok, and yeah, looking forward to it. Jerry,
Listen, you want to see me and Scotty do those crazy
Yeah.
dances and weird shit like
Yes.
that? Go follow our TikTok. We'll do the beeps and boops. I mean, come
Yeah, the
on.
beeps, the
We're
boops.
not above it. We're shameless.
I want to plug one thing real quick. Tomorrow we're
Please.
hanging out with Gus from Tribe of the Force,
Woo!
doing fortune cookies of the Force. So super excited to have that happening tomorrow. One of our favorite segments. Looking forward to every aspect of it. And I also will be on Force Connect this Friday with Pete Fletzer. I don't think Nick will be there, but Chris Ryans will also be there. We're going to be taking in your Star Wars hot take. So look forward to that. And of course, Bombad Gaming comes on in 13 minutes. Jerry, we got to hear about Hyperfocus. What we got going on Hyperfocus this weekend?
Well, hey, Hyperfocus, I'm hanging out with Chase Hauser, that gay Jedi. He's if you've seen Pink Milk, go check out their channel and everything. Chase is just an amazing, fantastic person. And I am so excited to sit down and talk with them about a very interesting topic that they picked. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just hold that. We don't give out the topic beforehand, but also get ready for Hyperfocus. Hyperfocus we're gonna start taking some different directions with it and everything. So get ready. We may not always have a guest, but we'll always have an interesting topic.
Always.
But Scotty,
always.
Thank you. Go watch Bombad Gaming right after this.
Yeah. I'll see you there. One more thing. I love you all. Stay Bombad.
We love you all.
Flippin' Bombad.